भारतीय विमानन अकादमी की ओर से मैं मयंक सिंह आप सबका आज के इस सत्र में स्वागत करता हूं। जैसे कि आप सबको पता है कि हम पिछले कुछ समय से हम मंथली वेबिनार्स अपनी आयोजित कर रहे थे और ये पायलट जो हमारा प्रोजेक्ट था ये काफ़ी सफल रहा। इसी को आगे ले जाते हुए अब हम वेग के नाम से विजन फॉर एक्सीलेंस एंड ग्रोथ इन एविएशन अपने टाइटल के साथ इस वेबिनार सीरीज को प्रारंभ कर रहे हैं। और इस सीरीज में हमारा अप्रैल माह में जो हमारा पहला वेबिनार है वो 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स फॉर सिविल एविएशन प्रोफेशनल्स के ऊपर आयोजित है। हम जैसे कि आजकल के हमारे इस दौर के अंदर ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है कि किसी भी हमारी जो टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज है उसका स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन जो है वो एसेंशियल स्किल्स के ऊपर ही है। तो उन्हीं स्किल्स को और फर्दर इन्हेंस करने के लिए क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं और हम इंडियन एविएशन एकेडमी की ओर से भी आपको सहयोग प्रदान कर सकते हैं और क्या क्या कौन सी ऐसी स्किल्स हैं जो इस 21वीं सदी में एविएशन प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है, इसके ऊपर चर्चा की जाएगी। अब मैं बिना ज़्यादा समय लेते हुए मैं अपने आज के जो हमारे वक्ता हैं श्री बी सेंथिलविल सर, जो कि हमारे अकादमी के कार्यवाहक निदेशक हैं और महाप्रबंधक प्रशिक्षण हैं, जिनकी मार्गदर्शन में ये सारे हमारे कार्यालय के अंदर नए इनिशिएटिव्स किए जा रहे हैं। तो मैं इनका स्वागत करना चाहूँगा और उनसे आग्रह करूँगा कि इसके हमारे इसको वेबिनार के अंदर अपना वक्तव्य प्रारंभ करें। नमस्कार सर।
Good morning, Mayank. Good morning to all of you. I would like to thank all of you to spare your time and join this webinar. So anyway, we will have a short webinar about 60 to 90 minutes we have planned. So like Mayank told, we have decided to go do a monthly webinar based on the community's demand. So we offered several titles on our WhatsApp trainee community. So whatever they voted maximum, based on that we picked this topic. The same way we will do in the coming days. So at the end of this webinar, Mayank will share one more voting in the community. So whatever the maximum voting is there, that webinar will continue. But this particular inaugural webinar will be of two parts. So next month we will have a second part. Thereafter 10 webinar we will be doing based on your voting, so that we will be touching those important skills which you would like to, majority of you would like to touch. So without wasting time, let me proceed with the present webinar. So the agenda, I have kept a very short agenda. When we talk about 21st century skills compared to ancestral skills. So when I am saying 21st century skill means, naturally the first question comes in your mind is, what is this 21st century skills? How it differs from our ancestral skills? Those questions will definitely come. First, we should understand this basic, how we evolved. The skills are evolved in this present century from our ancestral period. Then we will be able to easily understand what are the skills we have to upgrade. Then second agenda is, why do we need to think about the 21st century skills? We are already doing job. What is wrong in that? What is the key drivers for me to learn or adapt to the 21st century skills? That also we should understand. Then we will go to the framework of 21st century skills with respect to the aviation industry perspectives. We will just touch some 12 skills, 4 C's, IMT and FLIPS, that we will discuss during this webinar. So before going to that, I prefer to start with two stories, which all of you are already aware, but I would like to touch those two stories so that you will be able to correlate with our ancestral skill and the present situation. The first story. So all of you will be able to easily guess what I mean to say. Can any participants text What is the in one or two line? Whether you are familiar with this story? Any participants? Can you tell? You are able to guess what story I am going to tell? Hello. So if you chat and reply, that will be very encouraging. Otherwise, we will feel that in an isolated way. We have a lot of difficulties in webinars when compared to the in-person training. So this story, whatever you see, is that it's a very simple one, very famous one. The bullseye, how Arjun focused on bullseye. So the skills what he demonstrated during his training at with Dronacharya had these following skills. Number one, he was always able to do the accuracy and precision. He was having that competency of accuracy and precision. And he had an exceptional focus on his task. Then he had a lot of dedication. Apart from the training hours, he was able to practice continuously. Even in the dark night also, he was doing practice and discipline. So these things he meticulously displayed. So now you can easily correlate whether today these things are outdated. No, still these things are very much relevant on our present 21st century. We need to be very accurate and precise on our work. We need to have more focus, dedication, and discipline. This and all we still it is applied. So then how the 21st century skill differs and why we need to adopt. Suppose some of you may be very good in excelling in our organization who have all these kind of skills, but still I say you need to little bit change your way of approach towards building this skill and developing competence. The second story, this also you all may be knowing. Since the participants are protesting to not to chat, I am not asking you to type anything, but you know, most of you know what is this picture tells. There was a king who was very skillful, who can who can make a strategical decision to win the war. One such type war, when he defeated all the opponent people or he supported some other team and killed all the opponent enemies, a mother of 100 children, whom all of those 100 children were killed in that war through the strategy of the king. The mother cursed him. Whatever happened with my children, it will happen with your kingdom. When I say this is a king who is a most talented person and he knows the entire strategy, he is a, most of them believe he is a god, or you can those who don't believe him as a god, you can still say he is a king like God who can do anything, but still a layman, an ordinary woman cursed him. Your kingdom also will collapse like whatever happened to my kingdom today. But the king has never revolted, but in fact, he accepted. That is the beauty of this story. Why he accepted that my kingdom also will go destroyed. That is the key point behind this entire principles of this webinar. He observed Yadava's inevitable fate after they became self-indulgent and losing their way. Once you are very much confident that I am expert and I am doing everything perfect, there stops your growth. Your knowledge will stop grow, your skills will not improve, and your competency will not grow. What will happen once you are not upgrading your skills and everything? Naturally, one day you are, you see, if you work today, tomorrow you can perform. If you are not doing upgrading your skills today, then tomorrow you cannot perform. So Airport Authority wants to be a world best developer and world best ANS. Today we may be doing very good job as airport developer or air navy service provider in India. But what is our wish? We want to be a world best, world class airport developer. It means tomorrow we should develop so many airports in our subcontinent. then slowly in other part of the world. To do that, you need to upgrade yourself. If you are not upgrading yourself, complacent, even a kingdom made by a godlike king also will get perished. Then naturally, we all are human. Whatever we build our organization, we may not be able to compete in the future when we want to become a world-class operator, developer, operator, and air navigation service provider. So now with this little bit I already touched. The two story gives the entire essence of this my ultimate aim of motivating you all to upgrade your skills. Number one, the old skills are still relevant. At the same time, whether it is a very old century or the 21st century, if you are not upgrading your skills, naturally, we will find our means cannot continue to grow like we are growing today, and we will not be able to reach as a world-class air navy service provider or airport operator and developer. When we can say we are a world-class airport operator and developer, once we are able to build airports and the foreign countries, once we are able to provide solution to the foreign countries on air navigation solution, then only we can proudly say we are world-class or leading developer or operators. Now let us just jump into the topic. 21st century skills for aviation professional, a comparative over. So as I told, immediately some questions comes in our mind. The one question is, have we lost touch with the foundational skills of our, or have they evolved to meet contemporary demands? What are the unique skill sets that have emerged in 21st century? How do they shape our growth? Say for example, whether we have got something new better than our ancestor, that question comes in your mind. If we believe that our ancestors had a better skill, have we lost those skills? These things we will discuss in the next continuing slides. Number one is ancestor skill is the modern era. So this whatever the skills that we are doing today, the skills like leadership, communication, problem solving, adaptability, all these things existed in the past also, but it is changing due to the changes that happens around us, particularly technological advancement, globalization, changes in the societal structures. In aviation sector also, this is very extremely important. So number one is leadership. So leadership nowadays, it includes a lot of teamwork, inclusivity. Those days, king days, it is not inclusivity. Whatever king feels, it will happen. Nowadays, we are emphasizing on inclusivity, emotional intelligence, and teamwork. Similarly, communication, these days we are doing through digital platform, and we are using virtual meeting. We are meeting in a virtual meeting, which makes instant connection. You are sitting somewhere else, but still I am able to connect. Even in Mahabharata, they were saying that they were able to see from the distance place the war situation pictures they were able to see. So something we have still connections, but today we are fully dependent on different mode. Then problem solving. Today we are not taking any solution based on our instinct. We want data. We wanted data, and we need data-driven decisions. We need analytics that gives the data analytics. Then it gives a picturization to take a decision. Not like earlier days, you were just like that. We were taking decision based on intuition. So artificial intelligence has come, predictive modeling has come, so that our problem-solving situation also changing. Now let us compare with our ancestral time and the present situation. I just listed few examples. Leadership and team management. So earlier those centuries, old days, tribal and monarchic leadership was there. Where the king will be there, mostly it is a monarchy. Even otherwise, it's a little bit hierarchy was there. Today, it's a totally a collaborative leadership, emphasizing inclusivity, emotional intelligence, and teamwork. Communication, we were mainly those days we depend on oral tradition, storytelling, and letter writing, all these things. Today, you are having digital communication, social media, and virtual meeting platforms. So we will see what kind of skills you should develop when you want to handle this digital communication and other areas. Problem solving and decision making. Like I told, in the old days, it based on the intuition and the experience. Even in our family, even today, if you discuss with the elders, in front of elders, if you are discussing something, and if you imagine your children are there, and your parents are there, your grandparents are there, you are discussing something. Say, for example, you want to buy new clothes for festival. Elders will tell, go to this shop. Your young children will tell, they will show so much data from the mobile. They will show you, I have searched here, I have searched there. This shop, it is good things are provided. This shop, this offer is there. So many things they will tell. So nowadays, we are slowly going, already in our family, we are going through data-driven decision. We are using AI and predictive modeling, etc. But the technology and literacy, when you take earlier days, very, very little bit literacy was there. They were doing a lot of manual things. They got a very primitive tools for the use as a technology. They were using very primitive tools, and literacy skills also very much limited. Today, it is wide open. From sitting here, you can see what is happening in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. You can access free of cost. You can access all the materials which is available in IIT, IIM, free of cost. So things are totally changing. At the same time, cyber security is also comes, and automation things also comes. There are some benefits, there are some threats. So we need to handle these new generation issues. So we need to change our skills. That's why it is called 21st century skills. Now, when you talk about risk management and safety, earlier, what was the risk management? If someone is going to attack somebody, immediately the other person will attack him. That is survival. If you see today also, whatever we are doing is survival technique only. So why you are putting so much security in airport? Because to protect your installation, assets and the passengers, mainly passengers. So this is another way you want to survive, your business should survive. If your airports are easily attacked by terrorists, or it is a security lapse are happening just like that, then your business cannot survive. Nobody will fly to your airport. No one will land at your airport. So this is basically survey. So today how we are doing aviation safety, industrial safety protocol, cyber security risk management. You are doing so many things scientifically, not like earlier days. You are doing scientifically. So this gives certain idea to you that we are not necessarily our skills are advanced from the ancestor, but basically it differs how it is being applied, how we are doing, how we are handling the same skills and apply in the different way. For example, intuition based things you have replaced with the data driven analysis. Communication from the oral you have transformed to digital tools. Similarly, collaborative efforts, earlier you can say collaboration might not have existed, or it might have existed in a very, very, very basic level. But nowadays, the global network is very much visible. You are directly connected with the global community. It means collaborative skills are very, very essential in the coming days. So when you see how the competence of ancestral competence, our ancestors excelled in areas where critical for their time. Similarly, we are excelling in the areas which are critical for our time. That's all. So the survival skills are physical endurance or memory and oral communication, whatever they had competence, we are also having. Neither we have lost nor we had something supreme, the supreme skills or something like that. But at the same time, our methodologies are changed. The way how we gather the information, how we process the information, how we will utilize that information, all these things are changing. Otherwise, you have similar competence of your ancestral people. But at the same time, there are certain unique things comes in the 21st century, which our ancestors need not to have. That's why they didn't have. It is not that you see the basic logic is that when whatever is required for your survival, you will develop your skills. When there is an urgency, you will develop the skills very fast. So that's why I used to tell to my trainees, young people particularly, always you should feel a sense of urgency when you are doing good job in the office. Once you feel a sense of urgency, then naturally your learning will be very fast, your skill will be developed fast, your competency also will improve. If you are feeling complacency, your skills will never improve and your competency also will not improve. See, the airport authority, we are having 10,200 executives. If 20 or say, for example, 5%, if they want to develop these kind of skills, 500 people will come, they will change the whole situation in the airport authority. There is no need of even 10,000 people to get upgraded. With 5% people, the change will be visible. So what kind of unique things is 21st century demands? Cognitive and analytical thinking. Because today you are have to process so many aspects of data and their consequences, everything, when you are making a decision. So that the cognitive skills should be much improved one, and your analytical thinking capability also should improve. The next is communication. Communication is such a vast technology development has happened. So the communication is not like what we had even just before 10 years. If you compare, that communication has become very much advanced. Similarly, global collaboration. So you need to have a proper communication methods. Communication means, say for example, you have WhatsApp, you have Outlook, or you have any other Facebook, whatever you have. Everything is a tool for communication. But you need two skills here. You should know how to communicate. That is number one. Number two, you should know how to utilize these tools. So it means earlier, if you depend on only on verbatim oral communication, you cannot still succeed now, because you should know how to use these tools and also how to use this tool effectively. So there are so many things will add to that. Then innovation and creativity. You need to innovate in a fastest way. Otherwise, the business competition is such a high, you cannot survive in the industry. So that's why I use specifically this word survival. Say you are working in HR, you are working in engineering, you are working in finance. You need certain skills to survive your competency. You should be excel in your area. Then you should have additional skills and competency than your rest of your colleagues. Then only you can excel in your wing. So once we talk about survival and success is the key drive for all these things, there are 4 points we can see. Innovation. Today innovation is easy than the previous days because you have a lot of technological breakthrough. You can use simulation tools. You can do so many models, so many software tools to do certain innovation. You test your innovation, test your sample or model. In earlier days, that was not possible. Next is communication. Global connectivity is there. If you have a very good valuable information, you can easily get, if you know how to get connected globally, you will be excellent in your work. That is very much suitable for your survival of the business. The recent times, if you see in IAA, we have started so many efforts last 1 month, 2 months. We want to be connected with our major stakeholder. Who is our VIP stakeholders? Trainees. So we are trying to be in touch with them so that we will know. We want to be in an invisible connection we wanted to have with them so that they feel comfortable that somebody is looking after us and they are addressing our skill and competency requirement. So this is a very important. The communication is just mere drafting a mail will not do, or drafting a message will not do. How you get connected with the people, that is very important. Then adaptability. Our industry is the most challenging industry. There is a constant evaluation is happening. Few days back, we got a stakeholder management training. There, I was having some interactive session. I was just telling the people, 5 years back, how many of you believed there will be a pilots for drones? You might not have believed. Today, there are so many licensed pilots for drones available. That's why I was telling them, there may be a situation after 5 years or 1 decade, runways may not be required at all. Every aircraft will take off vertically. Then think about our big, huge airport infrastructure and all our competency skills. So Adaptability is the another important skill for our survival. Again, you need to survive, you should be employable, and your industry also should be able to adapt to this constant evolution and survive in the business. Tomorrow, imagine everybody started flying by air taxi of drone. Then nobody will come to your airport. Then what you will do with your huge infrastructure? How you adapt to that trend? Definitely, it is going to happen very soon. Every airport will have a separate corridor or separate infrastructure for this vertical lifting air taxis, small drones. Small drones in the sense I am comparing with the aircraft size. So this will be a challenging for us. If we are not upgrading ourselves, there will be a private drone airports. Then they will take your business. Then what you will do with your business? This is the thing I am telling. So we need to have just like attending our team management, team leadership program, or I am attending this program. That will not help you. I will explain you how you have to develop all these skills. Then data analysis. This is already we discussed. With the data analytics only, you can understand the problem. Otherwise, without understanding the problem, you will start define the solutions. So most of the problems are solved. 50% of the problem is solved only if you define the problem clearly. Once you have not clearly defined the problem, you will not be able to understand the problem itself and you will not be able to find the active solution. So what is happening now? Only the whatever skills our ancestors had, neither we lost. You know, you see that some picture is coming. This it is trying to talk about that DNA structure. This is an artificial intelligence tool I am using for making this because I have to do so many work, but still I am conducting this webinar. I do research and all these things on new topic. So I use all these pictures from my AI tools only. So this picture is showing about the DNA. Why I put intentionally, all of us have in our gene carry these skills and competency, knowingly or unknowingly. If suppose if you see that all Indians will have that ancestral genes and the capabilities in their body. So you never lose these skills. Only you have to activate these skills. You should know how to trigger those skills. Then you will be also excellent in whatever the skills our ancestors had. So here what I want to say, you have all those skills, but we need to transform those things so that you should know how to adapt to the modern century, how to transform our way of learning and upgrading skills and competency, and how do we modernize ourselves in all these process. So now let us go to the next topic. Okay, now I explained, I somehow I tried to connect with very old famous Mahabharata to connect that our ancestral skills are not something new that we are going to have now. They already had those skills, but still, one example I have shown how a person has become excellent. Another examples I told how a very big kingdom of excellency can perish if you are not upgrading your skills and practices. That example also I shown. Then I told how these ancestral skills evolved to the modern century skills and what are the things you should try to focus. This also I told. Now, at this stage, you will not be convinced with me because, okay, there are some old skills. You are saying that it is evolved, transformed. Why should I learn these skills? Why should I update these skills? Number one, I say, we need to see, that's what I'm telling, what drives me to learn this. That is more important. So once you know this reason only, you will try to concentrate on further part of the webinar. Number one is technological advancements. Now, one example, a short incident I tell you. There is one very famous motivational speaker. Even I also used to watch his motivation speeches. One day what happened, he was interacting with his son. The same example, this example you can easily appreciate why we need to upgrade. So when he was sitting, chit-chatting with his son has asked, how far the so-and-so city from our hometown? Then this motivational speaker is a father. He guessed and told some distance by intuition. Because of the experience, he traveled a lot in the country. He told, from my hometown to the particular city, this much distance will be there. His son, what he did, he Googled and used the Google map Then he told, what a stupid father you are. You claim that you are a world famous motivational speaker. You are saying 400 kilometer. Google Maps says 405 kilometer. So this is a situation today. So even though you say with intuition, you have told very correct figure 400. If you say the intuition is very much appreciable, but still the young generation is not ready to accept. They check with the Google Map and say it is a 405 kilometer. Why are you saying 400 kilometer? It means today you have to give the verifiable data for whatever you do, whether in the your drawing room or in the board room. So the data is very important. So technology advanced, then you should know how to use these technologies for your day-to-day work. Say for example, automation, artificial intelligence, big data, how it is big data analysis is helping the industry, what kind of digital literacy I should have, how do I analyze the data, all these skills you should learn. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive in this present world. And also, as I told, the market is globalized. Aviation industry is single roof industry. It is not, we cannot isolate, this is my airspace, your airspace. It is totally integrated. And today it demands cultural competence. Cultural competence is what? If suppose you are in a customer service or you are in operation, you may get so many passengers of different culture from different part of the world. Suppose you are airport terminal manager. How you handle efficiently, if you want to handle, you should know the cross cultural competence. So I am using this kind of word that no need to panic. That what I am saying is all very easily we can develop. So we are there in IAA to ensure that in slowly these things will be integrated in your training and the syllabus, so that you will be also developing your skills. So that the globalization world, you should know how to understand the cross cultural competence, and you should know how to communicate as per the culture requirement, and you should adapt to other culture also. And your workforce also demands new requirement of soft skills. So let us see little bit in more detail on this.